If you're watching this now, I want to imagine that it's either you're going through a lot or a lot is going through you. But today I'm going to share with you 6 important ways you can use to make sure that no matter how small your budget is or no matter how hard the time you're going through now is, you'll be able to at least maneuver. You understand? I'm talking from my own personal experience. When you're trying to live above your means, you're trying to impress people, you're trying to buy things you cannot afford, that is the real bondage. Your socks don't boss, but you buy chop with 2.5 every day. Why? The brokest people around me are the people who don't want to work. If you are broke, look for 12 different things to do, and I'm not even exaggerating. You're watching motivational videos on YouTube. What have you done about them? Day when you go through a person in granite for road, then you not get 100 for your post. Then you recall people, then they pick your call. Now that day you confirm. Go out there and look for money. Don't be disturbing us every day. Please for 2K. Hey guys, my name is Anyi. I own multiple businesses in fashion, beauty, and cosmetics. I've been running these businesses for 16 years now, and that's almost all the training I needed to become a life and a business coach. I'm passionate about sharing my interesting and peculiar journey with the hope that I get to inspire just one person daily. Hopefully today I inspire you. If you're watching this now, I want to imagine that it's either you're going through a lot or a lot is going through you. But don't worry, you're in the right place. Just grab a cup of I Can Do This tea, because today we are diving into the art of trying to survive on a shoestring budget. And I just want to tell you it's possible. And if to this point you have not subscribed to my channel, before we start, please subscribe, because it goes a long way to help me, and I'm going to keep giving you value. I'm going to keep covering important topics, things that will change your mentality. But you need to support me. Now if I give you, you need to give me back. You understand? Please just subscribe now before we continue. So today I'm going to share with you 6 important ways you can use to make sure that no matter how small your budget is or no matter how hard the time you're going through now is, you'll be able to at least maneuver. You understand? You'll you'll just find way them. So just stay focused till the 6th one, because I can assure you, if you implement all these strategies, you probably stop complaining about your life. The very first thing you need is a mindset shift. So most of us look at budgeting, and when I say most of us, is because I am either on this table or I have been on this table. So I'm not just talking from the air, I'm talking from my own personal experience and the experience of those around me. Most of us look at budgeting as bondage, but you need to change that mindset. You need to look at budgeting as freedom. It's liberating. Let me paint this picture to you. When you're trying to live above your means, you're trying to impress people, you're trying to buy things you cannot afford, that is the real bondage. So consider budgeting as freedom, because you're then free to live within your means. You're no longer struggling, you're no longer in a tight spot. You stop putting yourself in these tight spots, and these tight spots are actually the prison, the bondage. So just consider budgeting as a liberation process. You're actually on your journey to financial freedom. That's how I want you to look at it. So when you're trying to budget your finances or you're trying to manage your finances, it doesn't mean that you're so broke that you cannot afford this, you're so broke that you cannot do this. No, just tell yourself that you're actually giving yourself freedom. You're on your path to financial freedom. You want liberation. You don't want to live in that bondage of struggling to do things that you cannot do anymore. That's the first thing you're supposed to do. Shift your mindset. Or if it was this way, shift to the other way. The second thing you need to do to make sure you at least try to survive on your shoestring budget is to prioritize your bills. You need to prioritize your expenses, and I'm just going to focus on bills. You need to understand that you have bills and you have utilities. Not every bill is a utility. When they say utility, it goes with utilizing. So there are certain things like electricity consumption, water consumption, data that depend on how you live. You understand? Then you have your rent and other things that are fixed that you cannot control. So you need to actually prioritize your bills. I don't know what your own bills are, but for example, I have rents, I have electricity. The bills are so many, I can't even think of them. I have water and the rest. Prioritize them. Which one is your most important? If, for example, you have just 50,000 francs in a month, you cannot not pay your rent and you go and buy a dress to wear. That's just you being delusional. And only within your bills, there are some that are more important than the other. There are some that can wait. There are some that you can pay 50%. There are some you must pay 100%. Just picture this: you struggling to juggle all your bills. It's like you riding a bicycle and you're flipping flaming bills. Like, you know what that means now? You're riding, how do they call that bicycle? A cycle, however it's called, and you're flipping your bills. The one that burns your hand, you're struggling for it not to burn your hand. That's how you look when you're trying to juggle all your bills. So write down your bills properly. Write down the ones you can control, which are utilities. What are you cutting down on? If you're using AC every day, maybe you should buy a fan. This is me talking to myself now. Every time my electricity bill comes, not my electricity bill, every time my electricity meter starts beeping, I always promise myself, like, tomorrow I'll buy a fan. What kind of rubbish is this? This money is just finished now. I've not bought that fan. So if you find yourself paying too much for a certain utility, maybe you should cut down on, like, buy a fan. What are you doing with AC? Or if the fan is consuming too much, then just fan yourself now. Look for something and fan yourself. Just try to control. If you're using data for 1,000 francs every day, maybe you should start managing 500. Maybe you should delete some apps. So write down your utilities, see how you can cut down on them. Then the bills you must absolutely pay, are they negotiable? For example, maybe you can call your landlord. Oga landlord, see, let me explain something to you. I understand that my rent is 40,000 francs, but please, can I pay you like 10,000 weekly? Is there a way for me to pay in installments? Can I give you 20,000 francs in 2 weeks? Then the next 2 weeks I give you 20,000. Like, see if there's a way to negotiate your bills on a permanent basis with whoever is involved. And see. If you cannot negotiate your rent, can you just go to a place that you can afford? What are we even negotiating here? Just do things that you can afford. If the rent is too much and you're not able to pay comfortably every month without shedding tears, maybe you should go to a cheaper place. Like, what are you doing in that place if you cannot even afford? Or maybe you should get a roommate. Maybe you should get someone to live with. Have you thought of that? That's also an option. Like, just look at your bills, look at what you can easily pay, try to prioritize your bills, list out the things you can control, the utilities you can cut down on, look at the bills you can negotiate. Negotiation comes down to maybe even living with someone, or like I said, talking to your landlord. Just figure out your bills. Figure it out, because those are the things that drive you crazy, especially if you live in a town like Douala. You're crazy. The third thing you need to do, and this is one thing that we often really neglect or we do not think about, is to feed wisely. See, food is not cheap. When you're struggling with a budget, you need to understand that feeding wisely can be a game changer. It either makes or it breaks your entire budget. You cannot be aspiring to eat luxury dishes every day when you cannot even afford. No, let me not insult people. Let me not sound too harsh. What I'm trying to say is this. You know, this mommy puts, all these roadside mommies who sell all this, what's the English name? That's how you should be eating. That's where you should eat. If you live in Douala, I don't know how it might cost in other parts of the world, but let's say you live in Cameroon, your meal should not be over 500 francs. Yes. Why are you eating one meal for over 500 francs when you cannot even afford to wear good socks? Your socks don't bust, but you buy chop for 2.5 every day. Why? Who are you trying to prove a point to? You can eat without meat. Do you know that? You can tell yourself that breakfast, no meat, lunch, and manage one small slice, dinner, no meat. You need to be wise. You need to feed like a ninja. You need to be very tactical when it comes to your feeding. Monday, garri only. Tuesday, okay, we'll add rice and stew. Wednesday, we'll ginger it with noodles. The day that you eat noodles with eggs, it should be like the day that you want to do something, you know, a luxury feeding kind of thing. You serve it in a nice way. You put cold water, you relax, and you eat. But you need to be very, very mindful of the way you feed, because fufu and eru in one restaurant can cost you 3,500 francs. But there are women who sell fufu and eru down the road here, this particular street where I live. They sell that eru for like 300 francs. It's the same eru and it's very delicious. I can tell you, I can testify, I've eaten it severally. When I just moved to this house, I know all the women who sell food around this house, because when I moved to this house with just my mattress, what are you saying now? What are you saying? I knew all these aunties, all of them are my friends. 200 francs here, 300 francs here, small 100, small gari here, small this, because you're saving for something else. So you need to eat with tactics. You're not trying to impress anybody. The fact that I'm eating eru for 3.5 and you really want to eat eru doesn't mean you need to also eat eru for 3.5. Look for where they sell it for 500 francs and eat. Some days eat gari, some days drink water. Like, your stomach should be the least of your problems now. Health is wealth. Yes, that's why I'm saying that you can actually eat good food on a budget. I'm not saying you should be malnourished or anything, no, but there are cheaper options. Be mindful of how you eat. The fact that all your friends are going to expensive restaurants to eat doesn't mean you need to join them. You don't need to post on Instagram that you were eating in this nice place. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares. When your landlord is ringing your bell, nobody will open the door for you. So don't care about us. We do not care about you. You understand? If you're eating, your food is for you and your stomach. So focus on things that are nutritious but quite affordable, because it will save you a whole lot of money. Some of you eat for 5,000 francs daily, but you cannot even afford to pay your rents. What are you doing? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So that's point number 3, and it's a really important point you should consider. Feed wisely. Feed wisely. Chop gari. The 4th thing I'm going to say, and this one is really stressing me, because, in short, let me first of all say what the 4th thing is. Find a side hustle, or 2 side hustles, or 12 side hustles. See, hustle, look for money. My God, have you people noticed that the people who claim not to have, or people who call you every day to beg for 1,000, 2,000, or people who cannot afford to pay their bills, are the people who do not want to work? Am I the only one who has observed this thing? Please, if you've made the same observation, please drop a comment and let me understand. Is it just me? The people who have the least finances are the people who don't want to work. You will see somebody who is begging you for 10,000 francs or whatever. Okay, no problem. You give that person 10,000. Then something will come up and you're like, okay, see, there's this opportunity. Oh, there's this, that. That person will tell you that they don't have time. The brokest people around me are the people who don't want to work. You bring an opportunity to somebody who vividly has nothing substantial to do every day, and they'll tell you that they don't have time. But go and see somebody who is swimming in abundance. Before you announce the opportunity, they've already taken it. I don't know why it's always like that. See, if you're broke, if you are broke, look for 12 different things to do. And I'm not even exaggerating. You wake up in the morning, you sweep your neighbor's veranda. See, negotiate everywhere. If I iron your dress every day, will you give me 500? If I go to the market and buy your food supplies, are you going to give me 2,000? If like, do things, be in this street. What are you doing in the house? You're watching cable, you're watching TV, you're watching motivational videos on YouTube. What have you done about them? What have you done? Because you know where you beg your next 2,000 francs. See, hustle. Anything that comes your way, do it. So far as it's morally upright, or you can sleep at night and you don't have bad dreams, do it. Do it. Yes, do it and get your money. Everybody around you should represent an opportunity. I'm not saying you should just walk around using people, but don't waste your time around people who cannot give you pass. Don't waste your time around people who cannot give you opportunities. And when the people around you give you opportunities, take advantage of them. Because most times, the people who need things the most around us, you give them an opportunity and it's like you want to instead insult them. Hey, oh, I'm going for this event. Come with me so that you create my content, you take videos of me, you edit, you this, I'll give you 10K, I'll give you 20K. That person will tell you that they don't have time. The same you who asked me for 5,000 this Monday, on Wednesday I'm going out and I want you to, the same you is explaining to me that you don't have time. See, hustle. It sounds so cliche and it's like this is what everybody says, but it works. It works. If every day you decide that you do 4 things to have money, 4 things, at the end of the day, you will have about 10K. You have at least 10 to 20,000 francs. Do you have a skill? What are you doing about your skills? Can you plait? Can you learn a new skill? Is it makeup? Is it culinary skills? Is it what can you do? What can you do? What can you learn? What can you do to make money? It's not just about sleeping in your house and eating gari, like I said. What do you do actively daily? I'm so passionate about this particular point because I've seen it a whole lot around me. It just happens that I'm always in a position where people ask me for money, or they think that where do I have the money? I don't even have my own to eat. But I'm in a position where people just think that looking fly means I have so much money. So I have many people around me who always ask me for money. But when you give those same people, not all of them, some of them are, man, some of them, before I even say they've done it. When you see people like Joyce, you understand? Before I say she has done the thing, those are people who even motivate you to give them more than you wanted to give. But you have other people, you have to beg them to do their job. Like you have to talk them into making money for themselves. Are you okay? I'm so passionate about this because people ask me for money every day, or people who are around you and you vividly see that they cannot afford their bills. Like you see that they are struggling. When you bring up an opportunity, it's like you want to waste their time. Hustle, get into these streets and hustle. What can you do for the people around you? When you meet a new person, you should start asking yourself, what can I do for this person? What can I do? It's not just about begging for money. What can I do for this person to give me money? How can I be of use to them? How can I be useful in their lives in a way that a certain 10K from them will come to me weekly? What can I do? That's how you should be thinking. Go out there and look for money. Don't be disturbing us every day. Please, for 2K. See, the 5th thing I'm about to tell you, and like I told you, these are practical points, so there's no theory here. I'm not here to say acquire to desire. Don't acquire to desire anything. The 5th thing you need to consider is thrift clothing. You need to dress on a budget. Yes, wear okrika. The fact that people are selling things online everywhere now and you have boutiques everywhere and you can just sit in your house and order shoes and they meet you in your house doesn't mean you need to be shopping. What do you need that is not a Mashe Mokolo? What do you need that you cannot find at Carrefour and at all or Mashe Kululu? Why must you buy a handbag for 20,000 francs when you can go to Mashe Kululu and get a good handbag for 1,500 francs? No, tell me, why do you need to buy your t-shirt in a shop? Why do you actually need to enter a boutique to buy a t-shirt when you go to Kululu very early in the morning and you have wonderful t-shirts for 500, 1,000, 1,500? Why? Dress on a budget. See, when you have style, it's not about how much. It's about how you put things together. Go to Pinterest if you know that you're not a stylish person. Get inspired. See how to pair your basic pieces. But you need to dress on a budget. Stop spending so much money on clothing. It's not necessary. Buy your basics. Is it 2 pairs of jeans, a white shirt, 4 t-shirts, black jeans? Whatever you need that represents your basics, buy them. If you need something else, even if it's for an event, go to Okrika. Enter thrift shopping, my man. Focus on thrift. See, what this thing I'm wearing now is Okrika. Does it not look good? But I'm not kidding. It's not like see, I bought this for, it should be 2,000 francs, but it looks peng. Don't I look good? No, tell me, don't I look good? It wasn't expensive. It wasn't expensive. See, try to dress on a budget. I'm not saying that I dress on a budget every time. But I wouldn't do something I cannot afford. And even when I don't dress on a budget, it's because I'm trying to promote my fashion business. So to me, it's an investment. You will hardly see me counting 200,000 francs to give another designer to make a dress for me. It's not because I don't see that they do good work. I cannot afford it. I'll lie una. I cannot afford it now. Maybe in the future, but right now, man, I'm juggling bills. I cannot. But if you see me dressing a certain way to an event, I'm surely just promoting my fashion brand. Because when people see me wearing something, because I'm very stylish and the things look good on me, they always buy. So if I have to sell something, most times I have to wear that thing. So if I'm wearing something that's off my budget, it's just marketing. It's marketing. And most times I sell that particular thing I'm wearing. It's just my own growth strategy. That's just my own growth strategy. I know what I can afford. I know what I cannot afford. And I try to stay on my lane. That's just my own growth strategy. I don't do more than I can. You too should just embark on the same journey. There is a lot in thrifting that people ignore. There is a lot. You just need to know. You just sabi, na sabi so, dressing na sabi. There will come a time when we'll stroll into Gucci and Versace and just pick up rubbish. That time is coming. I have no doubt. But for now, you are struggling. You don't need a t-shirt for 5,000 francs. You don't. If you go to the right place, you can get it for 5 times less. So what's up? Why are you being lazy? Wake up, go to the market and shop when you have to. And don't shop often. Stop that rubbish. Don't shop often. You can shop once in maybe 4 or 5 months. You go, you buy things that you need. It's okay. Switch them. Switch them. See how you want to match this. Wear this one with this today. Wear this one with this. That's not even, nobody even cares. That's not the most important thing. Nobody cares. If you have an event that is important to you and you want to look a particular way, go to the market. You would find affordable things. Your most expensive dress at this point should not even be more than 15,000. 15,000 is even a stretch. What am I talking about? Basically, you get what I mean. Dress on a budget. Don't dress to impress. Dress on a budget. Your budget dressing can be more impressive than somebody's 1 million francs dressing. Don't you know that? It's all about style, my man. You should understand these things. The sixth and the most important thing you can do for yourself, this one you're doing it for yourself, is to create an emergency fund. I understand what you're saying. I don't have money. How will I create an emergency savings account? It's important because day when you go through a person in granite for road, then you don't get 100 for your purse. Then you recall people, then they pick your call. Now that day you confirm. The best thing you can do for yourself when you are broke is to create an emergency fund. It's like your SOS. When things they don't read, that's the fund you will turn to. And it doesn't have to be 10,000 francs a day. You can start with 100 francs, but guess what? The moment you start, you're started. It can be 100. You can just tell yourself that every day I'll save 100 francs. Before you know, you're saving 200. And if you're hustling, like this one comes in when you've implemented all these principles I'm talking about. Before you know it, you've saved 200 francs. Instead of buying Aero for 3,500, you buy Aero for 1,000. You take 500, you save. So that when something bad happens to you, before you want to call for help, before people don't want to help you, before you start talking about your village people, at least you have found a way out. When you're broke, that's when you need yourself the most. It's not about needing others. When you are broke or you're juggling a budget, let me not say broke. Like I said, we're just financially flexible and we are pre-rich. We are pre-rich. So when you are pre-rich, that's the moment when you need yourself the most. You need to be able to show up for yourself. Because sometimes almost nobody will show up for you. It's not like they don't love you. They have their own things going on. Imagine if my brothers don't show up for me. But you get what I'm saying. People have their own things going on. People have their lives. People have their families. They have their own problems to take care of. So there are certain things people can actually help you with, but not the basics. Like, I don't really believe that you should depend on people for the basics, except it really bad, that kind of way where you don't broke your one hand, broke your foot. Because you can sweep and get 2,000 francs. You can hawk bananas and get 500 francs. You can do something, at least do something, and let's see that you're doing something so that we'll be able to encourage you. Create an emergency fund. Create a savings account. Put money there every day or every 2 days or every 1 week. that money is going to see you through a lot of shiggy. Shock more be, shock more happen. Don't wait for something to happen before you start looking for money. You should have your 15K somewhere ready to save you when things are really red. You never know. You never know. Show up for yourself. When you are down, that's when you need to show up for yourself the most. Okay, so those are the 6 things I think you need to focus on or implement or inject into your life. If you're struggling to survive on a budget, if you're a low budget individual now, it's all right. I am on the same table with you. We are going to thrive, but we need to do it with sense. You need to be wise. So all in all, just spend wisely and find a way to make more money. And let me just leave you guys with this. There is a big difference between someone who needs to make more money and someone who spends a lot. So there are some people who are broke because they just need to make more money. Then you have other people who are broke because they spend a lot of money. And I'll not go deeply into it in this video. Let me know if you really want us to talk about this in depth, but I'll just tell you how to know the difference in your own life. So basically, you can make a table. Maybe you can have 2 or 3 columns, but let's just say 2 columns just to make it a bit simple now. You know all your expenses, so write down all your expenses, everything you spend on in a month, be it food, water, whatever, just write it down. From that list, you should put your bills in one column. Then you put your needs and your wants, or basically your wants, in the other column. So you're putting your bills. Your bills now are your utilities, your whatever you need to absolutely pay monthly. Like I said, your data, your water, electricity, is it school fees? Is it, I don't know, the things you need to absolutely pay, you put them in one column. The things you do not absolutely need to pay every month, you put them in the other column. So this one now is like fancy dinners with your friends, clubbing, alcohol, shopping, makeup, whatever you spend your money on, put it in the other column. Those are just your wants, things you do for entertainment, things you do to just please yourself, put them there. From this list, you would know if you need more money or if you just spend too much money. If your bills takes the most part of your income, like if all your money goes to your bills, then you just need to make more money. You're not spending anything. Some of us are in that WhatsApp group. you're not even spending, because if I have to start spending in this life, oh God, you know. So if you're in the column where it's just bills, and 90%, 80-70% of your money is gone, then you just need more money, because no matter how much you cut on your spending on your wants, the things that are not so necessary, your bills will still be there. You still spend all the money there. So just make more money so that after spending on your bills, you have more money left. So if you're on this table, you need to make more money. No amount of achomboda no amount of achomboda you eat will solve your problem. You need to hustle. That's why I said get even 12 side hustles. Hustle, look for money. You need more money. You don't even spend anything, so it's not a matter of spending too much. Now on the flip side, if you're in the WhatsApp group where your bills are just like 20 to 10% of your expenses, then the rest take like 80%. You have to buy leggings every week. Then you have a spending problem. So it's not like you don't make enough money. You make enough money, you just spend too much. So if you cut down on your spending, you're actually going to have a lot more money to do the things that you need. That's the difference. I hope you guys have understood the difference. So you need to actually first figure out if in this your life that you're living, do you need to make so much more money like me, or are you just an overspender? When you figure that out, put your act together, put your together, and I can assure you 6 months from now you'll be telling another story. If you've watched this video till now, please subscribe to this channel. I promise I'll bring you valuable content every week. I'll try my best to share my experiences with you and my own little knowledge with you. These are things that I learned from my own experience. I didn't learn them in any classroom. I'm open to learning. So if you want to teach me something else, or you want to tell me more about a point I made, please drop a comment so that we can have a conversation. And if you want us to do one-on-one, I do one-on-one coaching. If you want me to do one-on-one to tell you how you can actually partition your budget, how you can spend wisely, or how you can just overall grow in your personal life or your business, please send me an email. My email address will be in the comment in the description box. You can send me an email and let's just talk. And please like the video too. Make sure you like it now before it ends. Just click like on this video. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.